Hello, Pisces. Welcome to Lotus Heart Tarot. I'm so happy to have you guys here. We are going to dive right into your reading. I just want to say thank you guys so much for all the awesome comments yesterday. I do deeply appreciate it. I really let myself go, and I appreciate the affirmation, confirmation, and votes of support. It's super kind of you. And I just want to thank you guys in general for watching my videos, for liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, sharing so much of yourselves in the comments. You guys are really amazing. I feel very blessed to have each and every one of you in my life. All right. To those of you who may be new on this channel, I welcome you. I hope that you find a message that resonates, something that brings you some peace and some clarity. If you do, please let me know by commenting, liking, sharing, and subscribing. All right, here we go. For Pisces, for my dear sweet Pisces spirit, what message does Pisces need to know? What do they need to know right now? What does Pisces need to know? All right, Pisces. You are getting you can choose love on the bottom of the deck. You are already whole. And nurture love and expand. Wow, okay. Pisces, do you remember yesterday how I was telling you you got that stretch card? And I was saying, you know, when a butterfly first comes out of the cocoon, its wings are, you know, they're not all outstretched. They have to get them outstretched. And they come out kind of crinkly like that. And you see how there's this progression to where there's full-fledged wings for flight. It is literally giving me that feeling again. It's giving me that it's giving me, I want to just carefully really choose my words here, because there's this essence of freedom. And there is this essence of discovering our own beauty and our own capacity and our own potential and our own purpose and opening up to it. This card that we start with on the bottom of the deck, it's a 12. And, you know, it is really talking about looking at other people as the causation of your pain. And sometimes, you know, we want to respond by returning fire. You know what I mean? By like giving them a taste of their own medicine. You know what I mean? Like revenge, but that seems like a very drastic word for what I'm feeling here. But all that does is perpetuate suffering. It perpetuates your own suffering, because you then have to live with your actions. And no matter how justified they are, if they're not in alignment with your pure heart, then you will suffer, period. It doesn't matter. You may remind yourself how justified you are every time you feel the suffering, and it may ease the suffering for you, but you will still suffer. And it also perpetuates the other person's pain. It's proving to the other person that that's what they deserve. And we don't want to do that. It's not in the highest and best for the collective consciousness. So there's almost this feeling where Pisces, someone did something low vibe to you, and you had maybe an opportunity to return fire, or you may have even spent time thinking about what that would look like and how that would feel, almost kind of manifesting it in a way. But I feel like you didn't take action. Her arms are wrapped around her legs and pulling her into this fetal position, which is it, and the yellow and orange colors are spiritual healing kind of colors, the colors of the sun, right? The sacral and solar plexus chakra. And so there's this energy of like, let me just call my energy home. And it feels as though you grew spiritually through this experience instead of doing something that would perpetuate pain in the universe. And when we do that, we're breaking cycles. We're breaking cycles for ourselves, and we're breaking cycles for the other person. And chances are this was a soulmate who did this to you, who caused this pain for you. And not that you should absorb it or you should carry it or it should then fall on your shoulders to process it. But we cannot help what other people do to us in this world. We can't. Wow, something just came to me. It was like, in the same way, we can't make someone wake up and see something, and we know that, we also can't then, the other side of that coin is that we believe that we are somehow responsible for the actions of others. And so there's your proof that we are not responsible for the action of others. Whoa, I don't know, I'm gonna have to sit with that, but it's literally showing me two sides of the same coin. And like how I know I can't change, I can't make someone behave differently. You know, I can't make someone's free will choices for them. I can't make their free will choices for them. In other words, I can't be responsible for someone else, period. That's it. I can't be responsible if they treat me that way, and I can't be responsible if they separate from me or whatever. That has nothing to do with me. Whoa. I mean, I know these things, but it's just showing it to me like two sides of the same coin, the same truth exists on both sides. I don't know. Anyway, you are already whole is the next energy. And this is an interesting energy, especially coming right here. This is, they say that we have two lives. The life we live until the moment we realize we only have one life to live, and then the life we live after that. And this feels to me like the light, that moment where the light bulb goes off of, wow, I only have one life to live. And this is my moment. Over the like break or whatever, I started reading the book Normal People. I'd seen it recommended so many times. I'd seen it on the cover of so many YouTube book things. And I know that the author wrote another book, and she was an Irish author, and I had no clue what it was about. I literally had just seen the cover so many times, and I needed a book that wasn't 5 pounds, because what I'm reading is Wolf Hall, which is like a very heavy, thick book, and it's kind of dense, and I've kind of gotten stuck a few times in it. So I saw they made it into a TV show and all this stuff, and I was like, oh, this looks perfect. A light read, Irish author, I'm gonna do it. In that book, that book is actually, I mean, it deals with a lot of intense topics, but it is so incredible. It is such a window of insight into the inner workings. These characters are so incredibly developed. I mean, she is a huge talent. Some people don't like it because of the way she wrote it. She didn't use like quotes. She just like writes it like stream of consciousness. But for me, it was like I devoured it. And I think if you enjoy my readings, you would also like it. But again, strong sexual content. I'll just say that. But amazing. Like just, oh my gosh, amazing. I haven't finished it. I have like 50 pages. I read the whole thing like in one sitting until 50 pages, and it's like I'm kind of dying to get back there, but I've been so busy I haven't been able to. The thing is, what we discover, what we find out, what we realize sometimes is that I just heard I am that I am. We are who we are. And the more we fight that, the more we resent that, the more we don't love that, the more we turn our back on that, the more we try to be some other way or some other person, the more we are in conflict with the truth of our truth, of who we are, which ultimately, if you follow it back, and if you're interested in this, if this is really resonating with you, Mooji, 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 find him, listen to him, experience it. You find that you are the divine. You find that you are, because if you, well, I don't want to get into it too much. It's a very deep thing, but it's pretty incredible. You can actually experience it for yourself. And it's 1,000% true. Some people avoid it and don't want to look at it and don't want to become it and don't want, they kind of walk from that experience. And that's completely your prerogative. I mean, it's your choice. What you want to experience in this life is your choice. But what you can ultimately always tap into and find, if you search for it, is that at the end of the day, you are the divine. And so why would you want to be anything other than exactly what you are? And it's like with tarot, everything is a spectrum. Every energy, every facet of our being is a spectrum. So sometimes there are facets of our being that get out of whack, right? We get addicted to things. We are gluttons for things. We do things we're not proud of. We act misaligned to how we feel or what we think. And we say things to, fit in. But generally, if you look at why you do those things, most of the time, it is because you're trying to fit in, or you're trying to, potentially please other people, be accepted, be considered a normal person. But the more that we embrace our truth and our authenticity and who we really are, the more we actually embrace the divine, the more we actually embrace our sacred connection to all of life. When you have that moment that you realize this is your only life, what came next for me was, do I want to spend it pleasing other people and trying to maintain relationships that are damaging and hurtful to me? Or do I just want to love myself and be who I truly am and be free in that existence? Obviously, you can see what I chose. But that's not the choice everybody's going to make, and it's not the right choice, right? There's no right choice or wrong choice. But when you find it within your heart to truly embrace yourself and your truth and who you are and what you're about, you also embrace your soul purpose. You also, you open up an entire field of understanding and deeper love and deeper connection and deeper everything to yourself to experience in this life. It's like, it is like unlocking a door. So So some of you, I feel like, made this spiritual choice to not retaliate, to not get revenge, to not need to be heard, to not need to win an argument, to not need to come out looking great, smelling like a rose. And I think, you know, you embrace a path of more of a spiritual growth through the experience of your suffering, instead of trying to push your suffering down by winning or by telling yourself it was all the other person, it had nothing to do with you. You know, you allowed yourself to be vulnerable to the experience. And now you are emerging out of that, you know, a richer, deeper version of yourself, more capable of opening up to, you know, deeper levels of love, deeper levels of connection with people. And then you have nurture, love, and expand. And this is a 38, which is an 11, which is a master number. And this is kind of that moment where it's like, okay, I'm ready. I'm open. I'm ready to receive. I don't know the how. I don't know the when. I don't know the where. I don't know where it's coming from. But I am open to love. I am open to growth. I am open to life. And this is where our wings, you know, fill out, firm up, are ready for flight. Oh my gosh. Man, 24, the dragon. I'm pretty sure 2024 was the year of the dragon. I could be wrong. That's really resonating with me, though. And it's kind of interesting because that card represents worries, anxieties, fears, real and imagined. It's the energy of having to sort of look at all that and face all of that so that you can move forward. Until you look at it, until you face it, you can't move beyond that place. And so it's kind of interesting now. 2024 may have been a year for a lot of you where you face things. Maybe you had a relationship that was starting and you had to face your fear of trusting someone else, face your fear of being intimate with someone else, face your fear of being vulnerable with someone else. You know, maybe there were some challenges to this energy of, you know, I'm open, I'm ready, I don't know how, I don't know where. You know, it can be that fear of like, maybe it won't come, maybe it's not going to show up. I said it, I expected it to instantly drop into place. Instead, this is what came in, you know what I'm saying? But that is sort of, you know, how we say you've got to complete a cycle. And coming to the realization of the cycle's completion is one thing, but then being able to face it and make a different choice, that's a different thing. You know what I mean? You have this energy of the Weaver of Words, which is, well, it's interesting because what I'm really getting is a Knight of Pentacles energy. You know, it's kind of like, which isn't necessarily the meaning of the card, but that's what I get when I come near that energy. And it's like, you know, small steps that add up. And you don't necessarily see them adding up as you're taking them. You have faith that your small steps will add up, maybe at best. But you don't, you know, you don't see the result until all those steps make a mile, or you know what I mean? until it's a meaningful distance, or until it's, you know what I'm getting here too? It's like a getting to know you process. Like it's like, you know, I can say to you directly, oh, do you like to travel? Oh, where have you been? Oh, where would you like to go? And I can get to know something about you, right? Or, or I can spend time with you on a daily basis. Like maybe we work together, maybe we're in school together, maybe, you know, we're friends with the same friends and we hang out together, like whatever the case may be. And I can make observations about you. And I can also learn a lot about you. And maybe sometimes even more. I can listen to you talk about what you're dealing with at work and how you're dealing with it. And even though it's not directly you saying to me, this is who I am, this is what I believe, I can tell those things about you by the way that you deal with your things. Do you see what I'm saying? And it's almost like I didn't realize how well I actually knew you until I realized it. You know, I don't know. It's also now, it's really feeling to me, there's something consistent. It's like been showing up, or something that has consistently existed, that it's like now there may be some form of communication. And it's like, thinking of the right words to say, I don't know. It's not the way I planned it to be. I promise you. I don't know, it's a song. I don't know. It's almost as if someone is really, it's weird because on the one hand, I get this feeling of someone who is like, I know I need to say something. And when I initially feel that, this is what I say. And then it's like, I ball that up and I throw it away and I don't say that. And then by the next time it comes back up that I need to say something, this is what I want to say. And it's much deeper. It's much more complex. It's evolved. But then I ball that up and I throw that away. And it's like someone's getting closer and closer and closer to the words that they want to say. Every effort, every time they have crossed this bridge of thinking about what they want to say, or even trying to write it down or to say it, it's led them closer to the words that they actually want to say, or led them closer to the truth. Then you have this knighthood energy, and I'm reading this in reverse, mostly because I was just drawn to the dragon and the 24. But it feels right. The knighthood is, you know, obviously it's being recognized for who you are, for your achievement. Pisces, if I'm being totally honest with you, I'm actually getting this feeling of you stepping into your authenticity, opening up to life and saying, here I am, I'm ready to love, I'm ready to expand after going through some kind of spiritual journey. Then it's like, instead of really being faced immediately with the opportunity to do that, it's like you had to kind of face some fears. You had to really close out some kind of cycle, or there were challenges to this, or even opening up, expanding and growth is sort of painful. It does include, you know, having to face our fears. It does include having to take risks and take chances, right? And so there may be a particular relationship that's come in and it's been a bit challenging, you know, just even you with you, to open up, to really embrace it and to like stay in this energy yourself. And it's like either you're trying to communicate something to this person or this person's trying to communicate something to you. But it's like the actions are already there. It's like, yes, the words may be necessary, but the actions are already kind of exist. Or there's something here that where there's already sort of, it feels to me like proof, but it's like these words should be spoken, or the words being spoken will take it somewhere else or make it a deeper thing, or might even bring the thing back together. Bridge some kind of gap here. But it feels like somebody is recognizing you for you, and somebody is like loving you for your authentic self, for like it, almost in a way that you've never been loved before, or treated before, or respected before, or honored before, or something to that effect. You have the heroine here on the bottom of the deck, and, you know, this is, you know, to me, it keeps feeling like being your own hero, you know, being your own champion, not needing anyone to do it for you, finding it within yourself. And then the result of that is you find your champion, you know what I mean? Like you attract that to you. There's something very victorious about this energy. It's very like, where you may have been was waiting for someone to save you, for someone to complete you, for someone to be the answer to everything within you that hurt or that suffered or that was vulnerable. And when you're looking for that outside yourself, it leads to greater suffering. But when you look for that inside yourself, when you allow yourself to go on that spiritual journey, when you allow yourself to be changed by an experience in that way, which is difficult, you find what you were looking for. You complete yourself. And then the energy comes, then the person comes, then the soulmate comes. Baba. You funny boy. All right. Guys, I mean, look at this. You have reckless. It says acting recklessly, getting lit, highly volatile relationship personality. Could have been what led you to that place. Then you have hello, distant, distracted, deep in thought. That feels like this energy of where you're... I don't know, it feels like putting yourself back together again, or like transforming, or, you know, going through some major stage of growth. And it's like you may not have really been yourself, or you may not have, I don't know, it's like been fully present in every moment, because there was this like kind of like healing going on a deep cellular level. And also it can be, when you go through phases like that, the people who you surround yourself with, or the way you interact with people does kind of change, because they expect you to be the same person that you were before, or, you know, I mean, you look the same, you sound the same, you know, but you're vastly different. You're vastly different because you're going through this massively transformative experience. And, you know, it feels like an unrelatability, or like a I'm here but I'm not here kind of thing. And then you have what a catch, and it says an ideal partner or mate, abundance, self-esteem, value. The answer is yes. Marriage material. I feel that you have gone through a spiritual transformation that has prepared you to be loved for exactly who you are. Like, not feeling the need to even be anything else. Then you have this staying in energy on the bottom of the deck, which, you know, I know there's all kinds of schools of thoughts about Netflixing and chilling and all of this, about, you know, making someone show you your value by taking you here and there and all this stuff. But the truth is, when you're really comfortable with yourself, like, narcissists have a really hard time being home by themselves, just sitting still and being home by themselves, because they're uncomfortable in their own presence. Like, they don't want to face their truth. But when you have kind of done the work, and you have really healed, and you have really, you know, you kind of, I mean, I love being by myself. I love being with my people also, but I love being by myself. Like, I don't mind staying in. Okay. Today, my husband's off, and my son reached out to him and was like, you know, can you come see me? And so he was like, I'm probably going to go, you know, my son lives about 2.5 hours away. And I was like, okay. And at first I was really bummed, because we usually have fun on my husband's day off. And then I was like, no, you know what? I haven't been home in my own house by myself with, you know, nothing planned, with nowhere I have to be or nothing I have to achieve in so long. Maybe I'll bake something. Maybe I instantly started thinking of all the things I could do, finish my book, bake stuff, you know, all this stuff. And then my husband was like, I just talked to our son, and we'll go down a different day. And I was like, oh, okay. It's pretty cold outside today also. But anyway, I was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, back to feeling like, oh, I'm so excited. We can do this. We can do that. There's a show that we're watching together, and just different things. We have like a tree in our yard that we need to stake up. And I was like, oh, well, we'll go back to getting all those things done. And that's the thing, when you're really comfortable with yourself, and you're really comfortable with your partner, and you're authentic with each other and with yourself, it is such a something to look forward to, and such a, even if it's just getting stuff done, or, you know, whatever, it's like, it's fun because you're doing it together, and it's fun to, like, I don't know, you know, it's kind of what I'm picking up on, is just that anything is fun. And it's not even fun. It's, I want to say fulfilling, but that's not really the right word. It's just, I don't know. You can get really jazzed about it. You can get, it's not even that. It's just, I don't know. I feel like you know what I mean, but it's like, yeah, you can be comforted by it. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, that's what I'm getting. And it's kind of like, you feel so comfortable with this person. It's almost like you'd rather stay in, or, you know, yeah, it would be fun to do this or to do that. But, like, you know, if 90% of the time we're just hanging out, then I'm all for it. I don't know. Maybe that's how you know. Because it's not about, you know, posting or these wild experiences or these fancy over the top experiences. It's more about the quiet times. I mean, they're good too. All right, you guys have the Two of Wands with the Six of Swords. Man, somebody is really coming to a place of peace with a decision that's taken them a long time. And this may be a decision to say something with the Six of Swords. It's, you know, this is somebody who has definitely looked at their future, or they have been looking at their future, and and kind of sitting at this crossroads of like, where is this going to go? What do I want to do? You know, and almost like, you know, when you make a decision, it's like you can sometimes decide something and then 2 minutes later be like, or not, you know, maybe not today, or yeah, but no. And this feels like it's taken someone kind of a long time to really get to a place where they don't do that, where they're not changing their mind, where they're like, no, you know what? I'm really at peace with this. I'm so at peace with this. I'm so good with this. Like, the decision is made. And I'm moving away from the energy of focusing on the decision as a whole. And I am moving in the direction of, I have already made this decision. Like, the decision is final kind of energy. And with the Seven of Pentacles, it's kind of like that energy that I was picking up on with the Weaver of Words, with the Knight of Pentacles energy I picked up on there. It's like, you know, day after day, this keeps showing up, and it keeps, you see how the Seven of Pentacles are in this apple tree, and some of the apples are actually ripe in the tree, and he's really looking at it and evaluating it. And it's kind of like, you know, with every day that has passed, or with everything that I've learned, or with everything that I've discovered or thought about or whatever, it's like I am only seeing the good side, and it's not like an intentional thing. I mean, I feel like this person, you know, especially sitting here at this Two of Wands, is like really objectively looking at it. But it's like, if I objectively look at it, my life is just better. You know, my life is more abundant. My life is juicier. It feels better. It tastes better. It's just more productive and happier. And so I'm at peace, and I've taken my time making this choice. I have come to a place of peace with it. So, you know, it's not someone who's forced or coerced or ultimatumed into making a decision. It's someone who was like given the space and the time and the freedom to make the decision that they needed to make. And they have taken that time. And now the way that they view it is that, you know, my life is just better under these circumstances. And so, you know, I can see this as being my future, you know, when I look at it. You have the Two of Cups clarifying the Six of Swords. And wow, the Two of Wands with the Star card and the Hierophant on the bottom of the deck. It seems as though someone has been contemplating some kind of commitment here, or, you know, making a commitment, offering a commitment possibly. The Star card with the Two of Wands is like, this could go a couple different ways. And one of the ways is my wish fulfillment. And, you know, sometimes when we're looking at a decision, and one thing is our wish fulfillment and the other thing is, you know, kind of carrying on the way we are. When we are kind of stuck at the precipice of that decision, it is oftentimes because we need to face our fears. And the fear of being happy, the fear of actually getting everything that we want, or having everything we want. That is actually a huge responsibility to take on, because it's like you have no excuses. It's like you got everything you wanted. And, you know, you didn't treat it right, or it falls on your shoulders. You know what I mean? You know, so it's like, it can be a lot for some people to be like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to go for the wish fulfillment. But I feel like this is something that this person sat with and was like, you know, looking into that apple tree with the ripe apples, it's like, well, so far so good. And so far I've been able to nurture it. I've been able to be what it needed me to be productive, to be good, to grow, to be abundant. So why would I think anything else, you know? And it's kind of like now or never. It's like, here's my opportunity to have everything I want. I need to take it. Yeah, but I feel this energy of the dragon sort of breathing down my neck when I'm in this energy of the Two of Wands. It's kind of like I'm standing here and I have to face a lot of things that I don't want to face. So for some of you, there may have been a distance, there may have been a separation while this person really, I feel like kind of a phoenix rising energy where it's like they had to really face themselves and rise up to meet the occasion, you know, of this opportunity. For others of you, it may have just felt like the relationship may have moved kind of slowly. And it may be something where it's taken a while for it to get to this place that you've come to so much faster with other people. But this feels very real. This feels very lifetime-ish. Not like, well, for now, this is a good decision. It's like, no, this is my whole future. Like, this is the part where I really go for everything that I've ever wanted and I do it. I take on that challenge and I put it on my back and I put it on my shoulders and I like go for it. I am brave. And especially like with this knighthood card, it's just feeling there's a certain level of bravery and courage in this decision. With the Six of Swords being clarified by the Two of Cups, it's like at the end of the day, I'm at peace with this because this is my soulmate. Because this is the healthiest relationship I've ever had. Because this is my Two of Cups. Because there's nowhere else with no one else that I'd rather be. So there's a commitment coming. It feels like it. 2 twos. Definitely there's been a decision. A choice. You may be offered a choice here because someone made a decision. Man, I say that. 2 twos. Yeah, look at that. So, yeah, you know, it's almost like I just heard too hot to handle. That's so funny. I don't know where that came from. But it's almost like, you know, the universe really put this in front of someone, this relationship, this opportunity in front of someone and was like, look at this cup running over. And it may have really played on this person's fears. It may have really played on this person's like kind of self-defeating mentality of just like, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can rise up to meet the occasion. You know, whatever it is, it can be different for everyone. You know, we all have our 5 of Swords. And with the 2 of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, it's like this person may have sat with this decision for a while. Pisces, if this is your person, you may have just been like, okay, I see you grappling with this and I'm not going to try to tip the scales one way or another. I'm not going to try to force something. I'm not going to try to cling to anything. I'm just going to walk away. I'm going to leave you alone to make this decision. Or you may have even sat with the person and just given them space and just not forced it. You may have recognized what was happening within them and just sort of given them the space to like kind of figure it out, to come to that place of peace. We see it move from the 5 of Swords to the 6 of Swords. So it happens. And it doesn't feel like it happens under any kind of duress or any kind of pressure, other than maybe the pressure this person puts on themselves. Yeah. Wow. See, you got the 4 of Cups upright with the Hangman in reverse. This person may have had some unresolved issues from the past. Either they felt rejected or, you know, it's kind of one of those energies with the 4 of Cups where they've been disappointed, where they may have felt like they really gave everything that they had and it wasn't enough. And in their head, they may have like this cycle of thought that is kind of like, you know, replaying to them how, well, you gave everything you had to that situation and that didn't work out, or, you know, yeah, I'm just going to leave that there. There's obviously a million different possibilities, but it's an unresolved issue where this person hasn't put something in perspective, hasn't really allowed themselves to kind of let themselves off the hook about it. They may still, you remember in the beginning of this reading where I was talking about how the two sides of the same coin, where, you know, you are not responsible, you can't make someone make a decision, but you're also not responsible for the decisions that they make, even if they are about you, you know. And so it feels very much like that person is really learning this whole, you know, you are not responsible for the decision of other people, and it's a reflection of them, not you, kind of energy. To where, because what I see happen is now there's an Ace of Cups clarified by the 10 of Cups with the Death card on the bottom of the deck, which this is really telling me very strongly that this person calms themselves by saying, this time it's different. They may have actually kind of been in a relationship where it's like, maybe it was based on physical attraction, or maybe, you know, it's kind of like, it's one of those things where maybe it definitely from the jump was not meant to be, right? It was a karmic situation, but this person really gave it their all and really thought that if they just gave anyone their all, that that would be enough, and kind of discovered that it wasn't, and that really messed with them. And now it's like they're having this realization of like, no, it wasn't about me and about what I gave. It is about the quality of the connection that lies underneath, and whether it's meant to be or it isn't. And with the Ace of Cups, you know, this is a divinely given opportunity. So this is like a soulmate. This is like someone that you have a deep connection with, where the potential exists from the beginning for it to reach that 10 of Cups energy of complete emotional you know, contentment together, shared. It's like both people are capable of reaching that. Both people are capable of making that trek together and desire it together. And so it's not like this person is going to give everything to this connection and then be rejected. It's like the more this person gives, the more you invest, the more you get back from it, you know? And it's like this person is realizing it. That's what the apples in the tree are. That's what I'm just getting now. Okay, and then you have the Death card on the bottom of the deck. Like, this is major. This is the kind of relationship that transforms you. This is the kind of relationship that has no end, only death. Oh my God. Okay. Wow, somebody is feeling it. Somebody, see, here's that cycle of thought, that Eight of Swords. I kept getting that. Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, this person, this is kind of a major breakthrough for this person, where I don't know if this is a spiritual person or not. I don't know if it necessarily matters. But there's a strong spiritual element to this here, right here, like where this person is opening up to, there are just things that are meant to be in this world. And that those are the things that you can trust. Those are the things you can open up to. Those are the things that are sort of fated. With the Empress and the Three of Wands, we started off with the Two of Wands. The Three of Wands is where it's like, okay, where we have moved beyond the decision and we are committed to the path and we are moving in that direction. And there is an energy, again, a little energy of patience here. And we have these two threes right on top of each other, the Empress and the Three of Wands. This person, it's like the acknowledgement of, this is my Empress, or this is the one. This is the one that stands out above all the others. This is the one that, you know, I can see myself spending the rest of my life with and being abundant with. And, you know, this is my counterpart. This is my person. And with the Three of Wands, they may be waiting for you to catch up with them. They may be waiting for you to see it the same way they do. Or they could be waiting for just the right moment to express this. And in the process of waiting for the moment, I think they do have bouts where their mind comes back to this old programming or this old way of being, and then they cycle out of it and back into this faith and this belief that there are things that are just meant to be, and this is one of them. And that, you know, and so for some of you, there could be a distance between you that is also kind of preventing it from totally coming together quickly, or being able to be kind of like made good on, or whatever is how it's coming across to me. Let me see. Oh my gosh. Okay. So the Wheel of Fortune is being clarified by the Sun, the Wheel of Fortune, and that Two of Pentacles again. And, you know, this is saying that even when we have clarity and even when we believe, you know, we still are human, and we still have this, you know, ego, this thinking mind, these things that we have to grapple with as a human being, right? It is like spiritually, I can see this. Spiritually, I have this deep inner knowing. I really understand, and I really know what this is about, you know, the profound nature of what is in front of me. You know, it's healing, it's happiness, it's clarity, it's beauty, it's a life filled with abundance, really. The Sun and the Empress, I mean, holy crap. But yet, and so how could anything, you know, interfere with that, right? Within me, you know? And with the Two of Pentacles, though, it is that human nature that throws us back onto our back foot, that says, what if this person rejects you? Or, you know, maybe it's clear to you, but is it clear to them? What, you know, like all those what ifs and could haves and should haves and thises and that's, and you know, that it's like it causes this like back and forth kind of energy. And then you have the Empress with the Three of Wands being clarified by the Nine of Pentacles. You know, when you love someone, when you really, really love someone, the way that you see them is so, well, it's through the eyes of love. And when you look at someone through the eyes of love, it is kind of like putting them on a pedestal. It is kind of like elevating them, or saying, man, this is the only one. This is the only person that can make me feel this way. This is the only like, if I lose this person, then, you know, I like, there will never be anything that can take that place, you know, or that could make me feel this way again, or it could be so perfect for me. And so there's this energy of almost like, I've got one shot, and what I'm going for is that super elusive shot. You know, it's the 3-pointer from half court line as the buzzer goes off for the championship, you know. It's that kind of, you know, those odds, you know, those that kind of pressure, that kind of situation. And it's like, ultimately, underneath all of it, we are still human. We're still completely fallible. We make mistakes. We know that. We know that about ourselves. This person knows that about themselves. And that's what keeps them kind of going back and forth, and really building it up in their head of just like, man, if I shoot my shot and I don't get it, like, you know, I may not recover kind of a feeling, or like I may not, I'm, you know, it may just be a life full of nothing special after that. And I don't know that I'm prepared for that at this moment in my life, you know? But with the Three of Swords, these thoughts are just creating suffering for this person. Not doing it, not saying it, and conversely, what's happening internally with this person when they're not doing it, not saying it, is also creating suffering. Not coming forward, not shooting the shot. It is really creating pain. There's a swan on this card, and swans mate for life. You know, this is someone who takes this seriously, you know? Okay, you guys, I feel so sure that another card dropped, but oh, here it is. The suffering is the blockage. The suffering itself, the fear of suffering, it's coming to an end. You have the World card on the bottom of the deck, but the feeling, the fear, I feel like, of losing this altogether, losing even the dream, the wish, the hope of it, is creating suffering and causing the blockage at the same time. Oh my God. This person's going to go for it. The Three of Swords is being clarified by the Queen of Swords. And, you know, would I rather be the King of Swords? I sure would. But is the Queen of Swords good? Yup, I'll take it. Next best thing to the King of Swords here. The Queen of Swords has survived the entire sword cycle. I feel like I say this all the time on this channel. I am a Queen of Swords, so I love the Queen of Swords. But it's someone who has suffered. It is someone who has been deceived. It is someone who has, you know, mentally defeated themselves and has, you know, prolonged their suffering with the stories that they told themselves about the suffering, you know, and they've had to learn to overcome it. They've had to battle this inner conflict with their own thinking mind in order to get to the space of the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords is a discerning energy. It is a receptive energy where it's like, bring it to me. I will listen. I will hear you. And if it resonates with me, if it is, you know, a vibrational match with me, then okay, you know, I'm a reasonable person. I'll let it in. But if it's not, then I won't. And this person may sense this in you, Pisces, considering where we started here. They may sense your suffering. For some of you, this may be someone coming back around who knows that they caused the suffering. But, you know, they also know that you're not the kind of person that is going to just entertain anything. You're not just going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's good enough. Sure, no problem. Because you have suffered making decisions like that in the past, and you have learned your lesson, and now you're discerning. And so they have to be damn sure that what they're coming forward with communicates exactly what they want to communicate. Because, you know, this may be them that had the Weaver of Words that has picked up with your, even if they're not asking you directly, have you been heartbroken in the past? What were your past relationships like? It's like they know by the things that you say, by, you know, even unrelated to it. They understand. They are hearing what you are not saying. You know, they get it. I'm feeling that strongly right here, right now. It's in my heart. I feel like this person is hurt that someone hurt you even. But there's just this energy of they don't want to be that person. They see a long-term potential with you. The Lovers and the Chariot card here. This person wants to take this relationship to something long-term, long-lasting that leads to the ultimate kinds of successes that we can even have. And they are really trying with what they're going to say to alchemize this connection, take it from where it is now to somewhere else, somewhere deeper. And they have to make it through some kind of obstacle in order to get there. And I think the obstacle is that they have to communicate this to you. And I think that they're realizing that you have suffered in the past and that you will sit with them, you will listen to them, you will hear what they say, you will entertain what they are going to talk to you about. But if it is not in resonation with you, and if it is not something that you feel sure about, you'll drop the sword on them and cut them off. Or conversely, you will open up and yoke up with them with this Chariot energy and say, yeah, this is in complete alignment with me. This question is the Lovers. And that is your choice. Are you going to choose them ultimately? Are you going to choose this vision of the future that they hold, that when they let you in on it, when they tell you, this is how I see it working? Are you going to say yes, or are you going to say no? Either way, they got to know. With the universe and the Magician, they're going to do their best. They're going to use every tool they have. They're going to show up. They're trying to alchemize it. They're trying to take it from where it is to where they want it to be, where they can envision it being. And they're hoping that you're going to be along for the ride here, Pisces. That's what I see. All right, let me get you some messages. If you are, they're scared. Ooh, I just got that. All right, if you are dealing with a water sign, you have children. Children are important to this partnership, and you have soulmate. Your soulmate loves, accepts, and respects you. Man, that feels pretty powerful. Okay, if you're dealing with a fire sign, you're getting leap of faith. It's safe to make the move you're considering. True love. This love is emotional, physical, and unconditional, and trust. It is safe to trust the situation. And then obstacles. Unhealed wounds are blocking forward movement. All those cards just came flying out. All right, if you're dealing with an earth sign, you know, sometimes people think when I say earth that I say air, and I'm saying earth. And I will have people say, at the end, you were wrong. You said, like, dude, don't come at me like that. I'm never going to appreciate anything you said before or anything after when you come at me like, you said air instead of earth. And maybe I did, but also earth and air don't sound that different. Like stuff like that, like super annoying. If you're dealing with an earth sign, acceptance, everything happens for a reason. Warning, don't dismiss the red flags here. Unavailable. This person is unable to give you all you deserve. If you are dealing with an air sign, and if you know, which you obviously do, why do you need to come at me like that? Is this like brain surgery? Is this like rocket scientry? Does it require exact precision? And if it does, then this probably isn't the channel for you. Air sign, mastery. You've learned the spiritual lesson, addiction, and addiction is affecting this relationship, and friendship. This friendship is leading to more. All right, guys, this is what I have. I really hope it helps. I hope it brought you some peace and clarity. Interesting. I feel like we're stuttering and stumbling in a direction at this moment. It's like, oh, it's getting close. It's getting hard. It's getting tricky. I'm really grappling with a lot of things here. The energy feels, it's like I'm forcing it open, or like I'm like, come on, you know, let me see. All right, guys. Anyway, I hope this helps. I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Until next time, I send you off with all my very best. Always, always, always. Bye-bye.